ED is conducting three-day raids at Anil Ambani's premises, seizing documents and hard drives in a money laundering probe linked to the Yes Bank scam. Investigations reveal a potential 24,000 crore rupee scam, with the SBI classifying Reliance Communications as fraud and multiple agencies probing this particular firm.
Well, massive search operation began on July 24th has concluded against Anil Ambani Group of companies. Sources tells us that huge volume of data along with some physical paper, computer hard disks were recovered in last 3 days of extensive search operation from multiple premises, and from Monday onwards the sleuths is going to examine all these data and documents, and basis of that perhaps we could see that some summon may be issued and questioning will begin related to the money laundering case, which at present suspect to be 24,000 crore. Now, remember, 35 plus location along with 50 entities as well as 25 officials were covered under this extensive search operation, and the preliminary inquiry reveals that 3,000 crore of loan has been actually illegally diverted to many such companies of ADAG group of companies and also to some shell companies, and in fact the ED has red flagged the nexus of the bribe and the loan is what ED currently looking at, and in fact it also raises a huge concern on the due diligence and the violation that has been done while sanctioning the huge loan from the Yes Bank. They're also questioning certain companies and the complex web of transaction with respect to the housing finance company, where the corporate loan has doubled from 3,500 plus crore to some 8,700 crore is also something ED looking at. Plus, the Reliance mutual fund investment into 81 bond of Yes Bank is also something CBI is currently looking at, and perhaps ED will also take up the matter once CBI book the case. The other company, Reliance Infra, is also under question, where 10,000 crore of investment actually done to several group of companies disguised as inter-corporate deposit, and that is something where the name C company has emerged. The role of that C companies is also under ED question. That was, being given as a hidden entity, never disclosed as related party, perhaps to, escape audit committee scrutiny as well as the norms which is being laid by the SEBI for the related party transaction. So all sort of complex web transaction is currently ED looking into, and perhaps we could see some more cases being booked into some more companies of ADAG group of companies, what indication we are getting.
All right, to shed some more light on this, I am joined by senior lawyer Mr. Swapnil Kothari. Sir, welcome to NDTV. My first question to you is, what legal consequences could Mr. Anil Ambani or his group face if the fund diversion or the money laundering is proven?
They could obviously face jail. First of all, before that, they'll have to be taken into custody, whoever the officials are involved, because it's not very easy to prove money laundering. Suspicious transactions, yes. No question, Yes Bank was involved in several before, and it's possibly just barely come out of that. And then you have Reliance Anil Ambani, which to be involved in this, and obviously whenever there is borrowing of a major sort or lending of a major sort, then obviously the lens is very, and section 17 of the Bring Act powers the Directorate to look at everything, every strand, every link that can be established. It has to be established. The words are very clear here that there was a definite money laundering, the definite money trail, paper trail, everything that needs to be looked at, and they have all the powers to seize, search, seizure, seize, raid properties, go into premises, possibly even go to residences if you think that some papers are hidden there. So they'll have to have appropriate search warrants for that effect, and I'm sure they do. And this is not something which is absolutely palatable for somebody of Anil Ambani's stature. But he'll have a lot of answering to do. And one of the important things here is that these are fiscal offenses. So the burden of proof lies on the person who's being accused of money laundering. It's so if I am accused of evading income tax, then I'll have to show to the income tax department that my income is legitimate. I have not evaded income tax and I have paid all the income tax. The income tax authority does not have to prove that I have evaded income tax, like rape or murder or dacoity, where the prosecution has to prove beyond reasonable doubt. So these are fiscal offenses. The burden of proof lies on the people, on the companies, on the officials involved. And yes, to say that, yes, you're not involved or you did not sit on the board, well, very good. Company is a separate legal entity as per the eyes of law.
Yeah.
But there is a link established. You pierce the corporate veil, as what we call it. And once the corporate veil is pierced, then it becomes a very, very dicey issue. And, good luck to whoever the officials are involved in this.
Yeah. So, Mr. Kothari, what I also want to understand from you is, can the group's assertion, when they say that all loans were repaid, can it legally neutralize the ED's probe in that case or not?
Well, I think you need to show if all the loans have been repaid. If all the loans have been repaid, and how were they repaid? In what manner were they repaid? Were there book entries? And why were the loans given in the first place? Was there appropriate due diligence done? All of those things, because money laundering is a complex process. Layering of money, and black money is poured in, and then it is layered through several channels, and then it ultimately gets into the system where it becomes white money. So I'm just using these simple words for the benefit of your viewers.
Yeah.
But the point is that you need to show that all of these loans have been repaid, and most importantly, how were they written off, and if they were written off on what basis. So just a bold statement saying that all the loans have been repaid does not cut ice with the Enforcement Directorate. You have to show. And let me tell you one thing. The Enforcement Directorate is not going to raid you and then eventually prepare an ECIR, which is what we call it as the Enforcement Commission investigation report. Just as you have the first information report called the FIR, here you have the ECIR. So it's not going to prepare that unless and until, in the first place, it's not going to raid you unless and until some transactions are suspicious and major money is involved.
Okay, so Mr. Kothari, also shed some light on Mr. Ambani's personal bankruptcy claim. Could this investigation also impact the status of that particular claim?
Well, I think, to show on one hand that you are bankrupt, and on the other side, if you're being, accused of money laundering, are absolutely antipodal, in my opinion. So, one will have the bearing on the other if there is some sort of a match or a marriage between the two. But if the two of them are absolutely equidistant from each other, then, each case will have to be dealt on its own merits. To say, in fact, when you claim bankruptcy, that could amount to the fact that, you knew that someday you would be caught in money laundering space, and that's the reason why you did that. So, that bankruptcy claim itself could be a very fraudulent claim, given the kind of lifestyle that you lead. So all of these things will be investigated very, very thoroughly. Once you're caught in that wrangle, then it's a huge legal wrangle. Let me tell you that.
Okay. So having said that, very quickly, sir, can this lead to fresh scrutiny or penalties by the SEBI or the RBI or other regulators in that case?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Why not? Absolutely. Because once the SEBI will also start looking into it, there is something called as the Serious Fraud Investigation Office. So this is definitely serious fraud. And once the SEBI starts getting wind of it and starts looking at it a little deeper, what are these shell companies for? Why were they created? So all of these things could start coming in, one after the other. And, even the income tax department could start coming in. And then, of course, you'll have to knock the doors of the court, and then the judiciary comes on top of it. So, good luck to you. I mean, great field day for the lawyers, but tough time.
All right.
Tough times.
All right, Mr. Kothari, thank you very much for speaking with NDTV and breaking it out for our audience as well. Thank you.